pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Madam Secretary. I'm going to ask for you to call the roll. She will be acting as our secretary today because our secretary is absent.
President Robinson. Vice President Bowen.
Present.
Secretary Triplett. Treasurer Bradley. Trustee Rocket Martin.
Present.
Trustee Elnora Gannon.
Present.
Trustee Angela Doyle.
Present.
Thank you. Thank you. May we have an approval of the agenda, please?
I move that we approve the agenda. Okay.
I second the motion.
Okay. Yes, so true. We have a motion placed on the floor for approval by Trustee Gavin, second by Trustee Rocket.
I would like to make a minor amendment to the agenda.
And Trustee Gavin would like to make an amendment.
I would like to place the field trips in a consent agreement, a consent calendar.
Okay, so Trustee Gavin is wanting to make the field trips under curriculum and student support services under a consent. So what that means that we would vote for them all at one time, correct?
Yes. Staff report C1 through C5.
Thank you. Ms. Rocket, do you support that amendment to the resolution?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, can you please call the vote? There's a comments.
Vice President Bowen.
Yes. There's a comments.
Trustee Rocket Martin.
Yes.
Trustee Gavin.
Yes.
Trustee Doyle.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, thank you. We will now review our board norms. The Benton Harbor Area School Board of Education norms are: we will treat each other with respect. We will listen to learn. We will refrain from side conversations. We will use our time wisely, starting and ending our meetings on time. We will challenge ideas and not people. We will ask questions when in doubt. There will be no surprises at the board table, and we will practice the 7 norms of collaboration. Those 7 norms of collaboration are pausing, paraphrasing, posing questions, putting ideas on the table, providing data, paying attention to self and others, and pursuing positive intentions. Do we have anyone that would like to do any public comment on agenda items? Anything dealing with the agenda? Any public comments? Being none, we will now go to the approval of meeting minutes from 3/11/25 pending receipt. Did we get that yet? No, we have not received that one yet, right? So let's cross the 3/11/25 out, but the regular session of 4/8/25. The closed session of 4/8/25, the special session of 4/17/25, the work session of 4/22/25, and the closed session of 4/22/25.
Mr. President.
Madam
I
Trustee,
move that we accept the minutes of the minutes that you just read. I move that we accept them.
A
Yes.
second.
She said,
and it's been approved by, a motion was put on the floor by Trustee Rocket and it was seconded by Trustee Gavin. I'm just looking, and please pardon me, I'm a little under the weather, so if I sound lost, please forgive me. Do you guys see the closed session?
That's pending receipt.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
4/8/25 says pending receipt.
yeah. Can they receive? In other words. Yeah, they.
Yes, but I'm not seeing closed session 4/22.
Or they say.
Okay, So we shouldn't really be voting on that because we don't have it.
With the exception of the closed sessions. we
Yes,
can-
should you want to redo your motion? Okay,
I'll reframe my motion. I move that we.
talking to the mic, sorry.
Okay. I move that we accept the minutes as read, except for the closed sessions, the pending receipts. If they're not present.
Okay, I apologize. They are present. I see 422. It was the one that we did not see, and that was the March.
Okay, then I'll let my first motion stand.
Okay. Trustee Gavin, do you still support that?
Hasn't changed. It's
Okay,
good. So we're good, right?
yes. Madam Secretary, is there any questions or comments? Madam Secretary, can you please call for the vote?
Vice President Bowen,
Yes.
trustee Rocket Martin,
Yes.
trustee Gavin,
Yes.
trustee Doyle,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, thank you. Now that leads us to board business. We have a presentation by Taylor Incorporated. And then after that, we will be going into closed session. The floor is yours.
Hi, good evening. I just wanted to have a moment and let you know, we just concluded our fourth Kids in the Kitchen event. And today we were at MLK. I have a guest chef, Brian Renz. He's going to speak a little bit about what the dish was. So the dinner that we made for you tonight is the same thing that we served at lunch for the elementary. We had a very successful day. The kids enjoyed the dish, and he'll explain more, but they also did boba tea. So we had them try different bobas and we had a great time with the kids. So I just wanted to just to say hello and just let you know what we had done today, but he's going to tell you a bit about the dish. And then I've got some information that we passed out to the third graders, and then I'll give it to the principal to give to the other grades as well. But just to show you, it's a little connection to help the kids kind of understand more about the Philippines and where the food came from. Okay. So I'd like to introduce Chef Brian Renz.
Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for letting me come and do some cooking here today. I did have a wonderful time at the elementary school. You know, when the kids come up to you and start hugging you, you know you did okay, right? So it's a beautiful thing. So Taher, we go on international trips, one trip every year. I have been fortunate to be on 22 with the company. I've been with Taher for 25 years. 2 years ago, we went to the Philippines and Taiwan, which is where we got this dish from. We take cooking classes when we go there, and this is what we do. We either like to do a kids in the kitchen, or we like to do a chef on display. And today we did both. So the meal that you're having is a Filipino skewer called Pinoy, Pinoy, and it has garlic rice. And then the vegetables, we just needed some color. So that isn't Philippines, that's butter. Peppers, deliciousness. So, but the kids really enjoyed it, and I think I can't thank you enough for letting us be a part of your community. And if there's anything Tyra can do for you, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. They're leaving, but I was gonna open it up to the floor. You guys, do you have any questions? Or ladies, sorry. Any questions? Well, we just want to say, okay.
I just want to commend you for your efforts. Yesterday, I did have the privilege of seeing them prep because of my club, but everything is authentic. It is authentic. So thank you for doing what you do for us. Thank you.
Just
Go ahead, ma'am.
just extending my gratitude and appreciation for you coming and also working with our children. I like that extra piece. I know that they're excited about it. I know they were excited at Fair Plain Middle. So yeah.
Yep.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for exposing our young people to different culinary cultures around the world. My personal experience last year, I bought someone from Africa, and we did it right in my front yard. And they had a goosey and stuff I never heard of. It wasn't my cup of tea, but it was something different. So I'm always excited when our young people are exposed to different things. So thank you so much.
Yeah, food definitely connects people, right? So-
And I always thank you. The kids always enjoy the different experiences that you bring. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks, Sarah.
This now leads to section B. The Board of Education may hold a closed session to consider material such as written opinions of council, which are exempt for discussion by state or federal statute. Reference policy 0167.2. Is there a motion on the floor for us to go into closed session?
Vice President, I so move that we go into closed session.
A motion has been made by trustee Doyle. Is there a second?
Second.
And it's been seconded by trustee Gavin. Any questions or concerns? Who's go?
It's just gonna be us.
Yes, it's gonna be us and we have an, was that the attorney?
Yes.
That is an attorney.
Okay.
And then we have an, yes, okay,
Two sections.
yes, okay. So at this moment, can we do call for a vote? To go into closed session? Yes.
Trustee Rocket Martin,
Yes.
trustee Gavin,
Yes.
trustee Doyle,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, thank you so much. Is there a motion to amend our agenda?
Vice President Bowens, I make a motion to amend the agenda to move the closed session to the bottom of the agenda. Right before old business.
Trustee Gavin made a motion to move our closed session to old business. Is there a second? Second. It's been seconded by trustee Doyle. Is there any questions or comments? Can I call for the vote, please, Madam President?
Vice President Bowen,
Secretary, yes.
trustee Rocket Martin,
Yes.
trustee Gavin,
Yes.
trustee Doyle,
Yes.
motion carried.
Thank you. That leads us to the next agenda item is our superintendent search update. The superintendent search job posting. The board has hired Hazard Young and Etta and Associates to conduct the search. The position has been posted on both the Benton Harbor area schools and HYA website. It has also been added to the MSPRA jobs posted on the site and will automatically post to the following association job sites: MASA, MAISA, Michigan ASCD, MASSP, MASB, MEMSPA. The position deadline is May 20th of 2025. We will have several focus groups which will be held with the staff and general public on Wednesday, March 14th, 2025.
May.
All of these meetings are in person at the Benton Harbor High School New Student Commons. 3 p.m. for secondary level staff, 4 p.m. for elementary level staff, and 5:30 p.m. for community, parents, student, alumni, and faith leaders. On Saturday, May 17th, there will be a special meeting. The Superintendent Search Work Group Special Board Meeting will be held Saturday, May 17th at 9 a.m. The agenda is forthcoming. Should the fellow board members please check your emails for a May 12th, 2025 email from Dr. Collins regarding the board portal. You will find the proposal, engage and recruit phase documents and the applications received in the board portal at this time. Is there any questions or concerns?
I do have just a concern. There has been some comment that there's some type of paywall or subscription for applicants. And I was told that there isn't a cost, but there's something going on with the site that is causing applicants to think that. And so hopefully applicants will, if they're listening, will contact Haya to help walk them through that, because there is no fee for applying for the position.
Thank you for noting that. And what I will do is, I will reach out to Natalie, because you're like the liaison with the search firm, to make sure there's no paywall, or if they can rectify that immediately.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other questions or concerns? Being no more questions or concerns, we will now lead to policy and discipline. And Trustee Doyle, is that your committee?
It is.
Okay,
I'm not sure what to do with it.
well,
I can support.
so Trustee Gavin is going to support
Yes.
and talk about it. We've already been assigned to read these policies, and they've been publicized. So do you want to chime in, Trustee Gavin?
Yes, I will support. So this is our first reading, and we do not have to read through this here in this space, from my understanding, but it is our responsibility to read through these on our own as a first reading and take this time. If there's any questions or comments or concerns, we can voice them now, or we can voice them in between now and the second reading, but there has to be 2 readings before we can approve them. It looks like Dr. Buss wanted to share something.
Yes, ma'am. I was just going to add on to what you were saying, that for this time, it's the first reading. It was just recommended, typically recommended that you take these policies, read them, and make your corrections at the work session. We could further discuss them and have them voted on by the next board meeting.
Hey, thank you very much. So please make sure you read these 12 policies. And if you have any specific questions or recommendations for amendments, between now and that next work session within 2 weeks would be the best time to voice those concerns. And I will turn it over to you, Vice President Bowen.
Okay, I'm going to read the policies just so it can state on public record that we're reading the names.
Okay.
Policy 9160 is public attendance at school events. Policy 8315, information management. Policy 7540.04, staff technology use. Policy 7540.03, student educational technology acceptable use and safety. Policy 3130, assignment and transfer. Policy 2410, prohibition of referral or assistance rescinded. Policy 8531, free and reduced price meals revised. Policy 8305, information security technical correction. Policy 7217, weapons new revised. Policy 2371, I'm sorry, 2370.01 Online Blended Learning Program revised. Policy 6321, New School Construction Renovation. I think we all probably need to read that one. Policy 6520, Payroll Deductions. So just want to make sure we go through those and read those. And for the public, this is able to be pulled up on our website. Is there any questions or concerns regarding our policies?
Just one recommendation. Normally Neola will have the recommended policy and the rationale for that policy change or that policy choice. And just asking if the committee will make sure that those recommendations are linked into these policies.
And if I may say, we've updated and paid for that service, so they should be there.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. And trustee Gavin, your colleague is saying she can't hear you. So if we can all talk,
I will
Loud,
project.
yeah.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
that's okay. And the next one, if there's not any further questions or concerns on policy and discipline, we will now move to curriculum and student support services, which goes back into the hands of trustee Gavin.
Okay. So I guess the question is, since this is under the consent calendar, I'm assuming that the only question is, if I can just go ahead and make a motion
That is
for
correct.
us to, okay. I make a motion that we approve staff report C1, staff report C2, staff report C3, staff report C4, staff report C5 under, under the consent calendar.
I second
second.
the motion.
A motion has been made by trustee Gavin and second by trustee Rocket for curriculum and student support services under consent agenda items of staff report C1 to staff report C5. Is there any questions or concerns? Therefore, being no questions or concerns, can we please call for the vote?
Vice President Bowen,
Yes.
trustee Rocket Martin,
Yes.
trustee Gavin,
Yes.
trustee Doyle.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. This now leads to our facilities and finance operations with our monthly financial report. And Director of Finance, do you have anything you would like to say on the monthly financial report?
No, we had a finance and facilities committee meeting earlier today and went over all the details concerning the reports. So if there aren't any questions or concerns, we can go straight to staff report F1.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Okay. I read that Attorney General Dana Nessel won the argument against, I guess, the Department of the Secretary of Education. And what I read is that I guess it was close to $3 million that we were not going to have because of that COVID extension was revoked, that decision was overturned. And so we will have access to that close to $3 million. I just wanted to find out if that is included in this report, or do we have to wait, or how does that court decision that we now can have access to that 3 million or 2.9 million in reimbursement, how does that impact this monthly report?
It won't impact the numbers. We didn't take it out of our budget because there was litigation and it was still pending. So we never revised our budget to take that money out. So our budget will stand as is and will be on track to not be in a deficit at the end of the year.
Okay, and then I have one more question regarding our vote for the driver's education. I believe we voted for about 200 seats. Is that correct?
the total amount that we had allocated for driver's ed, we're going to do, we're going to have as many students that we can with that allocation. Right now, I don't know the exact number because we're going to do segment 1 and segment 2. Right now, we do have 2 sessions scheduled, one in the summer and one in the fall. And we're just going to keep going until our funding is depleted with as many students as we can.
Okay, awesome. So summer, fall, and then another session and another session like that.
Correct.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yes, ma'am.
I know you got a formal letter stating that they took those funds from us. You think they'll send you a formal letter stating that they have been reinstated to the district?
I'm not sure about a formal letter. We did get an email from our consultant with it's our ESSER funds. Our ESSER consultant did send us an email letting us know that our final expenditure report has been reopened. And now we can resubmit our final expenditure report with the additional expenditures and get the reimbursement.
Okay, thank you.
I got a question. If we would have put those funds down beforehand, we would be okay, correct?
That's not legal and not correct to do. The grants are reimbursable, so we have to spend the money, have documentation of the payments that we made before we can pull down the money. We can't just pull down the money without the expenses.
Okay, and I think trustee Gavin had another question.
Thank you for the round 2. Guess 2 things come to mind. One, will they extend our extension since they had us thinking we didn't have that extension? And 2, I'm wondering if it makes sense for the district or the board to send a thank you letter to Attorney General Nessel for fighting on our behalf.
I think a thank you letter would be excellent. And unfortunately, we only have 10 days to resubmit our final expenditure report. They did not open it up for our full time that we had with our original extension. We only have 10 days.
Is that enough time to get that in?
We are working diligently and we're gonna make sure it's enough time.
Okay, good deal.
Dr. Butts?
Thank you.
I just wanted to add that we've already requested the invoices for the parts that they've done and that we paid for so that we can ensure that we draw those funds down.
Thank you. And are you ready for that resolution?
If there's no other questions, we can go ahead and move to staff report F1.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Subject monthly financial reports. Reason for board consideration. A set of financial reports is provided to the Board of Education each month. Facts and analysis. This evening, it is recommended that the March 2025 payments be approved for all of the district's funds. Policy reference 6470, payment of claims. Strategic plan goal reference, facility/operations. Benton Harbor Area Schools will develop, implement, and evaluate a fiscally responsible plan that will ensure physical and psychological safety. Recommended action that the Board of Education approve the March 1st through March 31st, 2025 payments for the following funds. $640,163.92 general fund. $133,832.46 from the food service fund. And $2,127.32 from the student activity fund for a total of $776,123.70.
Thank you.
I make a motion that we accept staff report F1.
A motion has been made by Ms. Raquette to approve staff report F1. Do I have a second?
A second.
It has been seconded by trustee Gavin. Is there any questions or concerns?
I do have a question or two. In regards to the student activity fund, how does that work? Who decides, what type of funds are expended for the student activity fund? Is that a principal level decision? Is that a central office decision? How exactly does that work?
That is a principal's decision, or it depends on the activity. If it's, let's say, the volleyball team, it's the volleyball coach and the team that decide to purchase something from their student activity fund. It's never a decision from the business office. Student activity funds are, I want to use the right word, are managed by each individual activity.
And how is the decision made as to whether or not a student activity is funded? Is there a even amount of money that goes to every student-based activity in the district? Or do the students have to raise the money, or does it come out of our general funds? Like, what is the process for deciding
The
how the student
The
activity?
student activity funds are usually raised by the students. And it, like I said, it depends on the activity, because like the basketball team, a portion of the tickets goes to their student activity fund. And then a portion goes to the athletic general fund. So it depends on the activity, like our individual classes, they raise their money for their student activity fund.
Okay, thank you for that. And so if somebody wanted to donate to a particular student activity, they would how would they go about doing that?
They would either come into the business office and let us know that they want a donation and to which activity fund, and we'll give them a receipt to reflect that. We also have a website now that we are working on. It's actually up and running. We are working on getting it communicated out to the community and to the building so that they can share it. And on there, when you make your payment, there's a line where you put in the description and it will go to whatever you describe.
Awesome, thank you. One last question. And and I know y'all are ready to go, but just one last question. This is more so maybe with the general fund and dealing with teachers having access to a budget. How is that budget allocated? Is it only the principal has a budget, or do teachers also have a budget for their class to work with?
The teachers do have a budget for their class. We usually let them know how much they have and get a list of what they would like to order at the beginning of the school year. They are usually very excited and spend it rather quickly, but we like that because we want them to have what they need for their classes at the beginning and be set for all year. And that's separate from the building as a whole budget, and that is what the principal uses.
Okay, and so then there's a pretty good turnaround on that,
Oh, yeah,
on those
yeah.
requests. It's usually about,
Yeah, our building admin assistants, they do a wonderful job with gathering the information and getting, it's usually an Amazon list from the teacher on what items that they need. And as long as it's under the budget, we don't really police it. It is title funds, so there are certain items that are unallowable. It has to be teaching supplies. But most of the time, we usually go with whatever they say they need for their class. We place the order, it's delivered directly to the building with the teacher's name on the box. So they pick it up from the office and go from there.
thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, trustee Gavin, and thank you, Director Brock. I know back in the day, I feel awkward saying that. Benton Harbor area schools, when we used to get donations, it would be a report. And we would vote on it, accepting it and sending thank you for the donations back around 2006 and 7-ish. So, yeah. I do know it's facilities, but do you have anything for facilities? Sorry. I will advise the board, we received numerous emails today on something pressing on our school board, school buildings. If you have not looked at that, I would advise you to look at those. And hopefully our master facility plan that Dr. Butts is gonna discusses something of that. Because I would like to hurry up and get that resolved. I have several questions and we probably need to get an attorney. Do you want to chime in on that or?
On that particular topic
Sure.
So yeah, we've already sent it to the attorney, but I did want to tell you guys about the track. Do you want to hear about the track real quick?
Sure, I was down there the other day looking at it, so.
Okay, yeah, they put on the last layer of asphalt and that has to cure for 30 days. And then after that, they'll put on the rubber coating on it and then they'll stripe it. The rubber coating has to be on there for a couple of weeks and then they'll stripe it and it'll be done. We'll be able to have graduation down there. Yeah. So that's really about it for that. Everything's going pretty smooth so far. We are gonna have to probably look into fixing the irrigation down there. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, so you're saying we're gonna have to fix the irrigation soon?
Yeah, we're gonna have to look into repairing the irrigation or having it all replaced. The contractor that normally services the irrigation down there said that thing is it's just beyond fixing. He said that you really just need a whole new one, you know. So that's coming down the pipeline, but not right now.
Okay, and I'm glad that you said the magic word graduation will be on a field strip field. I just want to ask, and maybe this is probably, I'm not on that committee and the chairman is not there. Last year, we had people upset about us walking up them stairs. Will they be able to go back to the ramp?
The ramp? You mean like under the bridge?
Yes.
Yeah, they could do that. I mean,
Okay,
they walk anywhere they want to right now.
okay, I just know last year was issue, so. Thank you. Is there any questions on facilities? Okay, thank you. We next lead to Dr. Butts on human resources.
So only have one staff report on that one. Submitted for board consideration to approve the employment of staff in accordance with the revised school code and other general laws of Michigan. Facts and analysis, it is recommended that the board approve the superintendent's recommendation for the hire of the following personnel. Policy reference 3120-4120, employment of professional support staff. Strategic plan goal reference, personnel leadership. Benton Harbor area schools will recruit, hire, develop, and retain the best staff to improve student outcomes. New hire, Brandy Naimi, second grade teacher, MLK. Funding source, general funds, effective date 8/18/25. Recommended action that the Benton Harbor Area Schools Board of Education votes to approve the employment of the aforementioned staff.
Thank you. Is there a Vice President?
I make a motion to accept staff report H1.
Okay,
Did we vote on F1? That's what I was wondering. We hadn't
Did
voted
we vote on that
on
one?
the monthly report.
Now,
I don't think so. So I apologize. I switched the topic and that was my fault. On facilities. Can we vote on F1? I believe it was a motion approved though, correct? We just need to call for the vote for F1. I apologize.
Vice President Bowen,
Yes.
trustee Rocket Martin,
Yes.
trustee Gavin,
Yes.
trustee Doyle.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Yes. Thank you for catching that, trustee Joy. Yes.
Okay.
And staff report H1, Dr. Butts has read it on the hiring of our second grade teacher at MLK. Is there a motion to accept it? Second, trustee Raquette put the motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
And it's been seconded by trustee Gavin. Is there any questions or comments? Therefore, being no questions or comments, Madam Secretary, can you call for the vote?
Vice President Bowen,
Yes.
trustee Rocket Martin,
Yes.
trustee Gavin,
Yes.
trustee Doyle.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you so much. Next, we lead to the superintendent updates in the master facility. Do you mind reading?
Yep, master facilities plan. Thank you, Vice President Bowens. Today, we did have a meeting. Unfortunately, the company was not able to show on our meeting today. We are trying to reschedule that meeting. Kind of worked in our favor as we've received some news that Vice President Bowens mentioned earlier that the board needs to consider, which may put a small pause on the master facilities plan as we look at these new developments that we have.
Yes. And Madam Trustee Gavin?
Thank you. I have a question about the master facility plan. I don't know if my colleagues had an opportunity to take that survey, but it was not very user-friendly. I've taken a lot of surveys in my life. I've created surveys in my life, and I've never seen a survey like that before. The way that it is designed, you have to, there were not instructions there that told you you had to prioritize the order in which you wanted the buildings to either be sold, demolished, revitalized. So that wasn't clear. And then just the functionality of it was challenging to drag and drop the options in some particular order. It wasn't like, just numbering 1 through 4. And so I am concerned in that regard in terms of the functionality, the usability of it, the interface itself, the lack of instructions. And then also, I don't know if we ever cleared up the rec center piece, if we ever added the rec center as an option in the buildings that we were presently using. So those are concerns that I have. And then I'm also wondering, Dr. Buss, how many respondents were there? Did all of the students and staff respond?
No, ma'am, we only had 109 responses.
Yeah, so when you think about having 1,000 students, and how many staff people do we have? How many staff do we have?
310.
Right. So we have, I don't know, how many students do we have?
1274.
1274. And if you say, okay, deck children may not be ready to respond to something like that, right? But if you have 1,000 students and 200 to 300 staff.
I'm sorry, let me correct. I said 310, it's 330 staff members.
Okay, thank you for that. And 300 and something staff, and we only have 100 respondents, and the interface is not very user friendly. We cannot get an accurate measure of what it is the people really want. So I think I don't know if my colleagues had an opportunity to maybe it was easy for them. It definitely was not for me, and I'm a pretty computer savvy person. So I think we need to take a look at it and ask the company to provide us with something that's user friendly for the community.
Thank you, Trustee Gavin. Trustee Rocket?
With the focus group going tomorrow, with the town hall meeting tomorrow, rather, with the parents and the community, is it possible that we could, do we have time to set up something that even if it's on paper, that they could do that survey?
We could print it out, of course.
Would that make it easy to tabulate?
We're paying the company, so we could send those back to them. That's what we're paying them for.
I mean, because you'll have the people there tomorrow, I'm sure, some more. And if they have not had an opportunity to take the survey, and if they have a paper and pencil copy, a hard copy, it might be easier for them to to do it.
I can have Mr. Dash to reach out to them and see if they can get a paper and pencil copy ready by
I mean,
tomorrow.
if you just, even just leave it there, something, they can pick it up, do it.
Yes, ma'am. I can have it sent out.
Vice President Bowen. Oh, I'm sorry, I can wait.
Trustee Doyle?
Just to piggyback on, Rocket Martin, can we also have it at the graduation? Can we just have these out anytime there's an event so it can get out and we get respondents?
That's possible. The biggest thing is to make sure that we have the staffing to get them where they're needed. So if we can get a paper copy, I'll let Director Dash reach out to C2AE and Stantec to see if we can get a paper copy. And then we can put them, whenever we have an event, we can just leave them out.
Great.
Some of those are more.
But, Director Dash, sorry.
That's good, yeah. Anyway, so I did speak to the company about a paper copy. And they said that would be nearly impossible. It would just take too much to enter the data in from a paper copy. So that, and the idea came from a citizen, during one of our last board meetings, she brought it up, saying that some people like a physical copy, and that's true. That's like at libraries, So yeah, the best we could do is I could get like a QR code down to the local library or something, or yes, maybe we can send out some mailer postcards, but as far as C2AE, they are basically requiring it to be done online.
Trustee Gavin?
Yeah, thanks. I was actually looking for some feedback in terms of the interface, and two, what happened with the students and the staff having an opportunity to respond.
Well, of course, they have the opportunity to respond. It's not, we're not hiding it anywhere. It's out in the hallways and all that stuff.
I'm sorry, I should be more specific. We were told that they would be given to them during like tiger time, right? Like specific, like with intentionality.
Yeah.
Did that happen?
I'm not aware that did happen. I'm not sure.
And Director Cups is out tonight, so I have to get with her to see what's that pushed out to the principals.
Okay, good. So yeah, just wondering if she received that directive. Did she receive that directive?
Well, when we had at the last board meeting, I took it as she would make sure that we got it out. Typically, when we have board meetings, we always follow up in cabinet to ensure, but I can't issue that directive. I can say that the survey is still open though, so I'll go ahead and make sure that directive is issued.
Hey,
Yeah,
thank you. And then just to follow up on the interface. I'm wondering, am I the only one who has an issue with that
I wouldn't
interface?
say so. I tried taking that on my phone, and to be honest, like I had a hard time scrolling to the next question because of the drag and drop.
Yes.
Like when I answered one, you got to move it. Like if something's like more important to you, like your building, you got to move it up to the top, and then. Well, when I was done with that, then I tried to go to the next one. It didn't want to let me. So I had to take it on the computer, which not many people, well, it's about a mix. Some people like it better on the phone. Some people like to do things on the computer. Also, as Dr. Butts mentioned, we are going to just leave it open. Basically, because we're going to be in and out of the area of the unused buildings locations, every time I've ever been over to one of our unused buildings locations, somebody comes out to talk. And so that way this summer we can just tell them, hey, did you take the survey? And I can easily give them a QR code to one of those postcards that we're talking about. That way we can get more respondents.
I guess my question is it possible for them to provide a better user face? Like something that would be real simple for people is to order it 1, 2, 3, 4. Like,
Yeah.
as opposed to trying to
I
drag.
feel the same way as you. Like if they just said like, one, you know, like if
Right.
one building was more important, that one would be number one, and then one was least important, that would be number five instead of the drag and drop. I can ask them, but I don't see why they couldn't.
Does that have to be like a board agreement or, Vice
I-
President Bowens? I'm just wondering,
I wouldn't
Is it-
think so.
Just
we're good with it? Okay, thank you. Just wanted to make sure, because I don't wanna,
I don't mind asking them because I actually did, in all honesty, have the same concern because I just couldn't get to the next question after I did like three of them. It just kind of froze and I just kept trying to move. It wouldn't let me.
thank you for your honesty. Appreciate that.
Okay,
one thing I did notice too, that the, the survey questions were not sent to, like if I lived in Millburg, then they asked me about the school that was in Millburg. You know what it was like specific to the area that you lived in, to see what you thought about that area, you know, about that school being in your area.
Well, I didn't
Yeah,
realize that, I
didn't-
guess.
Wasn't it kind of like that? But the people that live like
Yeah,
in the,
So it wasn't specific, it was general. So
Oh, no,
it was
yeah.
general. It's because some of those buildings fell into different townships. So it was just a general survey. And so it gives everyone a chance to kind of weigh in, even if you didn't live in that area.
okay.
okay.
'Cause it
Well,
sounded
thank
like-
you. And Dr. Butts, we look forward to hearing what the attorney has to say about what the information that we received.
Yes.
Looking forward to that. Is there old business? We were supposed to go into closed session. The attorney has decided to wait. So at this moment, I need,
You need to amend it.
can we amend the agenda to remove the closed session?
I make a motion to amend the agenda to remove the closed session.
Is there a second?
Second.
A motion has been made by trustee Raquette, has been seconded by trustee Gavin. Is there any questions or concerns?
I do have a quick concern. I think I'm just gonna reiterate again. I think it's so important for us to have the lawyer present as a part of their regular attendance, just to kind of keep us intact in the way that we're doing things in order of the law. Just think it would be real helpful to have them present, even if they're not physically present, available on conference.
I agree with you 200%. Is there any other questions or concerns? There being none, I'm gonna call for the vote.
Vice President Bowen,
Yes.
trustee Rocket Martin.
Yes.
Trustee Gavin,
Yes.
trustee Doyle,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay. We are now back to old business dealing with the board retreat. The board president will give an update later on about the board retreat. At this moment, I do not have any information. Is there any discussion or anything that we're missing from old business? Yes.
Yes, thank you, Vice President Bowens. I think we have a responsibility to get a date on the calendar for the superintendent's evaluation so that he can also know and prepare for his evaluation. And we're here May 13th. I think we need to get a date so that he can have that time to prepare. And then we also have a responsibility to provide the superintendent with the artifacts that we would be evaluating him on. And so I'm hoping that we can get that date to him as soon as possible because we only have about a month, maybe a month and a half left.
So thank you for bringing that to our attention. What I will do is I will email the board and the president to let her know that this is a high level request on the superintendent evaluation search and give our superintendent's evaluation and give him time to prepare documents and everything and get back with you. So hopefully at our next meeting, we will have a date to get the superintendent evaluation and everything, and give them ample notice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is there any new business?
Just that we're supposed to be at the high school on, the focus group.
So
At the
when's,
high school on, the other special focus group, there's one Saturday. The town hall meeting, whatever they call it, what is it called?
so,
We, that's a select group that will be coming to that meeting.
so tomorrow it's 3 p.m., the secondary level staff, 4 p.m.,
Right.
elementary staff, 5:30, community, parents, student, and alumni, and faith leaders. They'll be at the new student commons. This will be their focus group. And then on Saturday, May 17th, I'm glad I looked at that time because that's
Yes.
a little rough for me. 9 a.m. on Saturday, we will be here,
Right,
the Board of Education.
Mhm.
with
So
the select group of folks.
yes, so we ask that you guys come here, be live, wired, and inspired for that. Is there any other questions on new business?
I do have a question. Will we have an update on CBA?
The collective bargaining agreement?
Yes, and what deadlines? Like, do we have a deadline on that? And will we have an update on that at work session?
You want me to ask you?
Yes, Dr. Butt.
So we do, I will be having an update at the work session on the CBA. I will make sure that you have a copy of the proposed CBA and the calendar proposed, so that it could be voted on. The deadline is June 30.
You said the calendar?
And the calendar as well. So the calendar has to be approved by the board as well as the CBA.
Is this the same calendar that I requested we add Peace Day to?
Same calendar, I didn't hear you, I couldn't hear you.
Is this the same calendar that I requested we add? Because Peace Day was off of the calendar again. And I requested in the committee that we add that.
It's the same
back.
calendar, yes, ma'am.
So is it off again?
I haven't looked at the calendar yet. I've sent it. Robin had Robin developed two versions of the calendar. And we were getting ready to present it to the board. The UNICEF director stated that the union has to approve it first before we submit it to you guys. So I haven't taken a look at it yet, but I will make sure that it is on there.
Okay, thank you so much.
And you'll get it prior to approval, so you can note it as well.
Bless you.
Okay, thank you, trustee Gavin.
And then
Is-
one last thing for new business, the MEA, I think it's the Summer Institute or the summer, it's like a Friday to a Saturday. So if you want to, the window is open for you to take classes if you want, or to go up. It's going to be in Lansing. Because some of those CBA classes and certifications if you want them. So I think it's August 11th and the 12th.
That's my birthday. I'm not doing that. Sorry. Okay.
I'm just letting you know the window is open. And sometimes they do all for virtual.
Okay, thank you. We are now into the section of public comments. Do we have anybody for public comment? Okay, as you're coming, I'm going to read this statement. The Benton Harbor Area School Board of Education recognizes the value of public comment on educational issues and the importance of allowing members of the public to express themselves on district matters. Today, there are 2 areas of comment on the agenda of which you may decide to speak. Public comment on agenda items and open public comment. We request that each interested participant complete a public participation form using legible writing to ensure that responses are appropriate and properly focused. For Benton Harbor Area School Bylaw 0167.3, which governs board participation at the board meetings, we request that you preface your comments with your name, address, and group affiliation when appropriate. Each statement made by participants shall be limited to a 3-minute duration. And per our bylaws, no participant may speak more than once on the same topic until any other person has had the opportunity to speak on that topic. Participants may remove their masks when addressing the board. Participants shall direct all comments to the board and not to the staff or participants. The board will listen, take comments and questions under the advisement and not respond at this time. I, as Vice President, will refer your questions to the Superintendent for research and response. Please ensure that your public participation form includes your contact information as requested. If you have any questions for the board or executive team that require follow-up, please email those directly to natalie.singer@bhas.org. You may have the.
I got 3 minutes, right?
Yes,
Okay, I got some teeth moving, so I think I take my mask off, right?
yes, you can talk.
Okay, teeth moving. Okay, listen, okay, I got 3 minutes. First of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Butts for doing the things he did while he was here. He set a good foundation. My name is Darrell Jackson, Ben Harbor, 1151 Broadway. I'm chairman of the Ben Harbor Athletic Sports Club, and my biggest sports is track. So I thank Dr. Butts for getting that track together. I thank the contractors for getting it together. I've been down there yesterday. And I'm gonna say this for Dr. Butts. Dr. Butts became very popular. We have over 100-some kids in our program in track. And a lot of those kids go to different schools. A lot of them parents brought their kids in our program because of Dr. Butts. You know, so they can come back to Ben Harbor area schools, which is good. 90% of them is in your schools right now. Timerson is in Barron Springs. The other person I'd like to speak of was your AD, which is Danny Jennings. He's a grassroots here. He hit the ground running. He loved Ben Harbor. He's popular. You got kids that wants to come back to the school system because of him. He does an excellent job. The other guy they speak of is Shelton Nelson. He's getting very popular. He's getting ready. I guess he went out and I think he applied for the girls basketball team. The girls is in shackles. They in bad shape. So I spoke with him. If he's gonna be the coach, I asked him to get Steve Archibald, Coach Steve Archibald. Excellent coach. He's also popular. A lot of people came to me because in my program also runs girls basketball and boys basketball, but we starting with the 4th and 5th grade, 4-H. I've done that before when I was playing for the Ben Harbor Tigers under Coach White. Me and Andrew Hirsch, we ran 2 years of that 4-H. That's where the kids need to learn basic and everything. I thank Dr. Butts for that because the kids, parents, they really like Dr. Butts. Dr. Butts has set a foundation here. And this foundation need to be continued to follow. But since he's going elsewhere, which I didn't know at the time, I feel bad, but I feel good for him if that's what he wanted to do. I think I heard Miss Gavin, one of y'all speak that you had a search, or maybe you did, Bowens, for a superintendent. Listen to this. You have a good superintendent that can be here. That's if he's qualified, and I think he is. That's Renato Triplett. I wish he was here. Renato Triplett, I have seen him weather the storm over at Morton Hill when it was in chaos. It turned into like a sanctuary now. I saw him weather the storm at Ben Harbor High School one time in the gymnasium. Now I say this, I know the 3 minutes is up, but let me say this to you. You all is doing a good job, but it takes a team. It takes a whole staff to do this here. You got to put the right people in place. And again, Dr. Butts, I appreciate you. And Bowens used to be my second ward commissioner. I appreciate you as well. Thank y'all for giving me this extended time. I wish I had more because I had more to say. Maybe to the next one. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comment. Is there anybody else for public comments? Being none, we now lead to the superintendent announcement and comments. Dr. Butts?
Thank you, Vice President Bowens. Again, always thanking my team for being the team that they are, the hard work that they put in, and then thanking everyone for their support.
Thank you. We now lead to board member announcements and comments. I will start off with Trustee Doyle.
I would just like to take a moment and thank everybody who's watching. I'd like to thank the staff for their hard work. I would like to give our girls, well, not just the girls, but our track team a big shout out. They went and won some awards Friday. They did really well, and I'm really proud of them. And I'm really excited that the track is on its way. They may not be able to use it this season, but they'll come hard next year on their own ground, and I'm really happy and grateful for that. Yeah, they did that thing. They brought home quite a few awards and medals. My daughter brought home 4, so I was really proud of her. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Rocket Martin?
I think. Ms. Nichols, I don't know if this is out of your department. It is wonderful. I've been looking through it and clearly it is something to look at and behold, and it's inviting for parents to see, you know, to bring their kids back to Benton Harbor. And so I'll be using this as a recruitment tool myself. As I talk to parents, as I meet people, as I'm at the Y or whatever, I will clearly show them the good things that we have going on in Benton Harbor area schools. So thank you so much for this. And Dr. Bucks, thank you for your cabinet. Your cabinet is on point, and I thank you for the things that they do for our district. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Gavin?
Miss Bath, let me give a hand to Liz. We're in the back.
Yes.
Definitely.
She put it together too.
Trustee Gavin?
I want to thank you as well for this. I may be, and I want to thank everybody for coming out, and I want to thank everybody who watches virtually as well. I'm glad that we have that option. I've made the recommendation a while back, and I'm hoping that my colleagues will just kind of consider it. Sometimes it's hard for all of us to get to all of the schools, and I think they've done it in Battle Creek before, where a board member adopts a school. And so that board member goes to that, all of, as much of that school's events as possible, so that they are, having that representation from a board member. And so if each of us adopted a school or two, I think we could have it covered, and they can feel like, sometimes we tend to focus on the high school, right? But anyway, so that's a recommendation there. I'm very excited about the possibilities of our district. I'm very grateful for our staff. I'm very grateful for the CTE courses that are starting to pop up. I'm, excited about the engineering CTE class. I think a lot of people don't know about it, and hoping that we can just look for as many ways as possible to celebrate what's happening in our district, what's happening in our schools. I've had an opportunity to speak to staff, and they have really great ideas, and they're doing some really great things. And so I'm just happy that we have an opportunity to celebrate them. And once again, I do want to celebrate the track team. Thank you for representing us. I hope one day we will be as excited about our track team as we are about basketball and all the other things. And I just want to remind everybody that Peace Day is going to be June 5th. I definitely will we will get some formal invites to the board, and thanking you for many of the important decisions that you've made this year. And we're just going to be celebrating peace and taking the 90-day Peace for Life challenge. We're asking everybody to take that challenge right now. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. It was rough. I'm not feeling well. And I was trying to cancel the meeting, and Miss Raquette was like, no, we got to keep on going. And as I was thinking about that, sometimes you got to press your way through. And that's a sermon in itself. But I was looking on Facebook, watching the band at Blossom Time. And we're so focused on what was Benton Harbor. We're not focused on what Benton Harbor can be. So you've seen some of the critics and everything. And I said, you know, God darn it, these babies have tried and they put it on and everything, and we're underestimated and they've been through hell and high water, but they still pressed their way through. So as a Tiger in Benton Harbor area schools, no matter if you're sick, no matter if it's 50, no matter if it's 10 or 5, we got to keep pressing our way through. So I want you to stay encouraged, and I will see you all Saturday. Safe travels, and thank you. You know, another thing. A year ago, you could have never told me a team of rivals would be working together. And I just think our maturity level and our level on the board has really grown. And I just want to say thank you so much.
One last comment. If you look at the paper today, the Herald Palladium, on the front page is one of our students from Benton Harbor High School was they called her like one of the best teams. It's like 4 people, 2 from Berrien Springs, 1 from Benton Harbor. If you look at it, I saw it at the Y this morning. I don't know if it was yesterday's paper or today's paper, but it's her father does construction on them. But she's on the front page of a picture of 4 teenage girls and says she's voted as one of the best teams or got it going on of Berrien County. Wow.
Okay, well, thank you. Now, no more comments. We're gonna adjourn. Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting, please?
I make a
So
motion
moved.
that I second.
It's been a motion approved by trustee Doyle, second by trustee Gavin. Is there any questions or comments? Therefore, can we please call the vote, Madam Secretary?
Vice President Bowen,
Yes.
trustee Rocket Martin,
Yes.
trustee Gavin,
Yes.
trustee Doyle,
Yes.
meeting adjourned. Motion carries.
Thank you.